Camp down.
Yes, I didn't say. What are you looking so sad about, Cap?
I'm surprised. I mean, I'm really insulted. That's not right, what you just said.
What do you mean, what I just said?
I mean, I'm getting a drink of water. I'm late getting home, but you talk. I said something about the greatest heavyweight champ, man. I'm a hometown man, and you talk about Joe Louis, man. Joe Louis wouldn't be nothing for me. Joe, I tell you, Joe, do you think you would have stood a chance with me?
Well, Clay, one time during my career, I was on a Formula One tour.
I would have been a bum compared to you.
Would you be on the tour?
What's happening, my people? It's Cass Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. That's right, you know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's The Boxtorian, bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. Miss Cass, Ray Patterson, Mike Masick. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cass Sports, The Boxtorian. Today, multiple division champions. How's everyone? How's the family today? This is the Wednesday afternoon hump day edition of Cass Sports, The Boxtorian. We are going to talk about multiple division world champions. We're going to talk about champions that won titles in at least 4 weight classes. At least 4 weight division champions today. Okay? We got Manny up there. He won 8, but it's just going to be the men because remember, Amanda Serrano got 7 divisions, and we'll probably do something on women next week. You know, it's only fair because they out there putting on the line for our entertainment as boxing people too. So we're going to do something on the women probably next week. But today, looking at men's boxing, we're going to talk about 16 fighters that has at least won championships in at least 4 divisions. Okay, on the men's side. Okay, Manny leading the way with 8. But how's everybody today? This Wednesday, hump day afternoon. Got Mike Mazik, RP, straight out of New Jersey in the building. Salute. Good to see you gentlemen again today as we get started. The highlights of boxing history. You know, we've been going around the globe, looking at some of the top fighters from various countries. Today, it's going to be Canada. We got 13 of the top Canadian boxers of all time today. 13 of them. And it's a lot of Canadians boxers on the list that were born elsewhere, you know, moved to Canada, you know, like Lennox Lewis, Beterbiev, Arturo Gatti. I never knew he fought out of Canada. I thought Arturo Gatti I knew he was from New Jersey, but yeah, I just found out yesterday that he had moved to Canada. I did not know that. Yeah, so he's on the list. Mm-hmm. Lennox Lewis from the UK. You know, when Lennox turned pro, he went back to the UK. They didn't exactly accept him with open arms either. They said, I thought you wanted to be Canadian, Lennox. You're coming back here for? But yeah, he had a very successful career. You know, born in Great Britain, and he went back there for his pro career. But representing Canada in the Olympics, yeah, like I said, it wasn't. They didn't exactly accept him back with open arms. But yeah, Lennox fought out of the UK during his professional career. Yep. Well, let's get into the highlights of boxing history. We got 13 of the best Canadian fighters of all time today. Canada today. And yeah, we're going to get a little history of boxing in Canada at the end of the show, around 3:30, when you get finished talking about these 16 champions that won titles in at least 4 weight divisions. And since we're talking about these fighters that were so successful winning titles in all these divisions, after that, I got some of the fighters that wasn't so successful. I got 9 fighters that had some of the worst records, some of the most losses. I got a guy with 276 losses we're going to talk about today. 276 losses. When do you realize you don't have it? It took him to get beat 276 times before he gave up. But he did win some. We're going to talk about them later in the show. 9 fighters with some of the most losses in boxing history. Yeah, so we're going to talk about some of the best and the worst today. First highlights of boxing history are going to be the 13 of the top Canadian fighters of all time. So let's go. Highlights of boxing history. Okay, look about some of these best Canadian boxers. Now, Canada is not usually known for boxing, as other sports such as hockey are better known. However, it doesn't mean that there's no love for boxing in Canada. Now, a few of the greatest fighters in history have roots in Canada. Canadian boxers have made significant contributions to the sport of boxing, with several achieving international acclaim. Many of the best have captured world titles in multiple divisions, right? Like boxers like Donnie Lalonde, George Dixon, and John Pascal have represented Canada with success in the boxing ring. And the legacy of Canadian boxers like Adonis Stevenson, George Chuvalo, and Lennox Lewis continues to inspire fans and future fighters. So let's look at some of these Canadian boxers now. Some of the top Canadian boxers of all time. Okay. All right. First is Donnie Lalonde. Donnie Lalonde. I didn't know he was from Canada either. But yes, Donnie's Canadian. Now what? Okay. Now, Donnie Lalonde, nicknamed Golden Boy, was a Canadian professional boxer who achieved notable success in the light heavyweight division. Turning pro in 1980, he quickly rose through the ranks with his powerful punching and aggressive style. He was the Golden Boy before Oscar, too. Now, Lalonde's crowning achievement came in 1987 when he won the WBC light heavyweight title with a second-round knockout of Eddie Davis. He successfully defended the title once before losing it to Sugar Ray Leonard in a memorable 1988 fight. Yep, but he was champion, lost it to Sugar Ray Leonard, 1988. Next, we go back a ways. George Dixon. George Dixon. Talked about George the other day when we talked about the first champion to win a title in every division. He wasn't first, but he was one of the first down there at junior featherweight 122. Yeah. Now, George, after winning the bantamweight title in 1890, George Dixon became the first ever black athlete to win a world championship in any sport. He defeated Tommy Spider Kelly to win the title, but was officially crowned after an 18-round fight against Newt Wallace. At 5'3" tall, he was very small in stature and was considered a pioneer in shadow boxing. George Dixon, first black athlete to win a title in any sport. Canadian boxers. Donovan Razor Ruddock. Donovan on the right. Donovan Razor Ruddock. Yep. He was known for his smash punch. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, heavyweight contender Donovan Razor Ruddock held a high ranking. He was well known for his potent left hook and uppercut combination, nicknamed the Smash. In 1982, he turned professional and won his first 10 fights. His first loss came in the 11th fight when journeyman David Jocko stopped him. After that loss, however, Stevenson went on to win his next 3 fights before beating former WBA heavyweight champion Mike Weaver in August 1986. In May 1986, Ruddock bagged the Canadian heavyweight title after knocking out Ken LaCusta in a single-round victory. Ruddock returned to the ring in February 1992 after his non-title fight with Mike Tyson, stopping former WBA heavyweight champion Greg Page before knocking out Phil Jackson in 4 rounds in January to capture the vacant IBC heavyweight championship. After defeating Egerton Marcus in 10 rounds to claim the vacant Canadian heavyweight championship in 2001, Ruddock announced his retirement. It was Donovan Razor Ruddock. Another great Canadian boxer, John Pascal. John Pascal, there's John. Thomas Hill in the building. What's up, T. Hill? Defiant Arnie One. What's up, Defiant Arnie One? How are you today? 2 of the 4 kings of the panel right there, Defiant Arnie One and Thomas Hill. Yeah, we highlights of boxing history is we're talking about some of the great Canadian boxers. To start things off today, John Pascal. Yep. Okay. It is John right there. With salute. Thomas Hill and Defiant Arnie 1. Now, John Pascal was a light heavyweight champion. Okay. Now, John Pascal, better known as, John Thinnestor Pascal, better known as John Pascal, made his professional debut in February 2005 and would go on to hold the WBC, IBO, Ring Magazine, and Lineal light heavyweight belts between 2009 and 2011. Even competing for the WBC super middleweight title in 2008. He also had the WBA light heavyweight title from 2019 to 2021. I think Pascal's still fighting, right? Now, Pascal, who was 21-0 at the time, faced up against British boxer Carl Froch for the vacant WBC super middleweight title. Following his defeat to Froch, Pascal took on Pablo Daniel Zamora on April 4th, 2009. Winning by 5th round knockout to claim the vacant WBO Intercontinental Super Middleweight Championship. In June 2009, Pascal transitioned to the light heavyweight category to take on WBC light heavyweight champion Adrian Diacomu. Pascal prevailed in the contest and took home the championship following a unanimous decision. Later in September 2009, Pascal made his maiden defense of his WBC light heavyweight championship against the WBC seasoned Italian veteran Silvio Branco, and he successfully did so by stopping Branco in the 10th round. Pascal beat Adios de Boxing in 2017 with a record of 32 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, 19 knockouts. But he did return. Last I heard, he was still fighting. John Pascal, the great Canadian boxer. Had a very successful career. John Pascal did. So did Adonis Stevenson, another great Canadian fighter. Adonis had exceptional punching power, Adonis Stevenson. Though short, Adonis Stevenson's career has been a classic one. In 2013, he knocked out Chad Dawson to win the WBC, Ring Magazine, and Lineal light heavyweight titles. This victory earned him the ring honors for Fighter of the Year and Knockout of the Year, 2013. Adonis Stevenson. Stevenson was regarded as one of boxing's toughest punchers at his peak. He was renowned for his quick hand speed and outstanding knockout power. He successfully defended the WBC and Lineal belts 10 times over more than 5 years until suffering potentially fatal brain damage in his 2018 fight with Alexander Gvozdyk. Yep. Yeah, that was his last fight too, 2018 with Alexander Gvozdyk. Or however you pronounce it. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay, go back to the old days. Jack Delaney. Jack Delaney. Here's Jack. Jack Delaney. Now, Jack. Bear with me for a minute. Man, this. Okay, here we go. Born Ovila Chapdelaine. Jack Delaney was a heavyweight contender and the world's light heavyweight boxing champion. He was well known for his exquisite, nearly faultless moves in the ring. He was a skilled boxer with a swift and fluid left hand. Now, Delaney began his career as a professional in 1919 defeating Paul Berlenbach to capture the World Light Heavyweight Championship in June 1926. He did, however, give up his championship a year later without defending it to pursue a heavyweight career. Jimmy Maloney, a veteran heavyweight challenger whom Delaney was predicted to easily defeat, was his opponent. Now, Delaney would have faced heavyweight champion Gene Tunney if he had prevailed over Maloney, with a record of 77 wins, 44 knockouts, 12 losses, 2 ties, 2 no decisions, right? Delaney lost that fight and ended up retiring. He had a chance to fight for the title if he could have won that fight, but he lost to he was heavily favored to beat Maloney, but he ended up losing. And then he retired, okay? 77 wins, 12 losses, 44 knockouts, 2 draws, 2 no decisions. Jack Delaney. Here comes the guy, my greatest chin of all time right here. #1 chin of all time, never knocked out in his career. He was stopped a couple times, but always on his feet. George Chuvalo. There he is, fighting Muhammad Ali. George Chuvalo, he fought those heavyweights in the golden age. Fought the middle to late 60s on into the 70s. He fought the heavyweights of the golden age. Big George did. George Chuvalo. Canadian, another great Canadian fighter. Now, George Chuvalo was a 2-time contender for the heavyweight world title, as well as a 5-time Canadian heavyweight champion. Never got the world heavyweight title, though. Now, Chuvalo was known for his endurance inside the ring, as he was never knocked down by an opponent. Despite fighting 93 pro fights, which included fights against some of the greatest boxers of all time, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, and Joe Frazier. He fought until the final bell and lost his fights by decision, okay? Boom Boom Chuvalo, a heavyweight boxer who entered the professional ranks in 1956, won a competition in Toronto that was put on by former world champion Jack Dempsey by knocking out 4 opponents in a single fight. After first retiring in 1973, Chuvalo made a comeback in 1977 to challenge Bob Feldstein for the vacant Canadian heavyweight championship. Chuvalo won the championship for a 4th time after knocking Feldstein out in the 9th round. Chuvalo won his next 2 fights by knockout before officially retiring. Chuvalo racked up 73 wins, 18 losses, 2 draws throughout his 21-year career, including 64 wins by knockout. 64 by knockout. Never knocked out and had a nice knockout ratio, too. Yeah, 64 knockouts in 73 fights. That might be 80. Yes, it is. 87.6%. So not only did he have the best chin of all time, he had almost a 90% knockout ratio in the fights that he won. Okay? Never knocked down in 93 fights. George Chuvalo, great Canadian boxer. Jimmy McLarnin. Jimmy McLarnin. Here's Jimmy. Jimmy fought back in the day, way back in the day. Give me for one moment, please. Okay. Jimmy McLarnin. Get back up there. There we go. One of Canadians' finest boxers. The Irish-born boxer was a 2-time welterweight world champion. Jimmy was. At age 3, Jimmy McLarnin moved to Canada with his family from Ireland. Now, both of McLarnin's fists were incredibly powerful, but his right one was the most dreaded. In May 1928, McLarnin lost his first attempt at winning the championship against world lightweight champion Sammy Mandel. He did, however, manage to defeat Mandel twice over the next 2 years. McLarnin faced welterweight champion Young Corbett III in the second title defense. With almost 3 minutes into the fight, McLaurin won through knockout. Okay? After winning the title, McLaurin faced Barney Ross in a thrilling 3-fight series. Ross prevailed in the first contest, which took place on May 28, 1934. But McLaurin reclaimed the title in the fight that followed 4 months later. On May 28, 1935, McLaurin lost his title in the rubber match by a razor-thin margin. McLaurin won his final 2 fights against legends Tony Canzonieri and Lou Amber, and retired in November 1936, still at the peak of his career. The great Jimmy McLaurin. Here's another great one. Sam Langford, called the greatest boxer never to win a title. He fought back in the era, when his race could only fight for the colored heavyweight title. Sam Langford. But he had the colored heavyweight title. He's the greatest fighter nobody knows. That's what ESPN dubbed him. 314 fights in his career. Okay. Now, many boxing historians rank Sam Langford, termed the greatest fighter nobody knows, as one of the sport's all-time best. Known as the Boston Bone Crusher, he competed in weight classes ranging from lightweight to heavyweight, where he beat several legends and world champions of the day. Lightweight to heavyweight, right? That's over 60 pounds, 135 lightweight all the way up to heavyweight, unlimited, over 200, okay? But he never went over 180. He was way undersized, but still in there beating those big guys, right? Now, Langford was ranked number 2 by the Ring magazine on their list of the 100 greatest punchers of all time, number 2. Due to the color barrier and Jack Johnson's unwillingness to challenge him in a rematch, the first African-American world heavyweight champion, Sam Langford was denied the opportunity to compete in numerous world championship fights. Sam Langford. Langford also defeated the then lightweight champion Joe Gans in a non-title fight. Gans was the first African-American world champion in boxing history and is recognized as one of the all-time greats. Jack Johnson, the first black world heavyweight champion, claimed a matchup with Langford and other black heavyweights wouldn't bring crowds because white champions had drawn the color line. He thus never fought Langford. He fought him for the colored heavyweight title, but not for the world. Tommy Burns, another great Canadian. Tommy Burns. That's who Jack Johnson first won his championship from, Tommy Burns. That was in Australia. Tommy Burns was from Australia, but he ended up in Canada. Now, the only world heavyweight boxing champion who was born in Canada. He was born in Canada. I thought he was Australia. Well, I know him and Jack Johnson fought in Australia. Now, the only world heavyweight boxing champion who was born in Canada is Tommy Burns. Burns completed 13 championship defenses against 11 different fighters, becoming the first to defend his title while traveling the world, despite frequently being the underdog owing to his small stature. Now, Burns defeated every opponent he faced as heavyweight champion, which led to his illustrious fight with the American-born Jack Johnson. Okay? I'm having all kind of problems with Wi-Fi, man. So Burns finally consented to a fight with Johnson in December 1908, after months of postponing the arrangement, making him the first boxer to accept a heavyweight title match with an African American. Now, Burns lost his championship in the Sydney, Australia fight. In the 14th of 23-minute rounds, the fight was declared over because Burns was unable to continue and failed to strike a punch. He became the first Canadian to win the heavyweight world championship in 1906 by defeating Marvin Hart. After his loss against Johnson, he didn't stop fighting until 1920. Okay, couple more. Arturo Gatti. I just found out yesterday. I thought Arturo Gatti was from New Jersey. Arturo Gatti was an all-action fight. Let's see what this is all about. Yeah, because Arturo Gatti was from New Jersey. Now he's on the list of greatest Canadian fighters, though. So let's talk about it. Arturo Gatti. One of the most thrilling boxers in history was Arturo Gatti, known as the Blood and Guts Warrior. Gatti achieved world titles in 2 separate weight divisions. Gatti turned professional at the age of 19 after competing for Canada in the 1991 World Junior Championships in Peru. In 1995, Gatti defeated Tracy Harris Patterson to win the IBF Junior Lightweight Championship, becoming the first person to hold a championship. Okay? Gatti had to stand up during his first defense against Wilson Rodriguez's 6 thrilling rounds. Now, following 3 successful championship defenses, Gatti gave up the belt in 1998 and moved up to lightweight. After losing the 3 exhausting battles in a row, several urged Gatti to retire, but he continued. He went up to junior welterweight and won 4 straight fights before Oscar De La Hoya outclassed him at welterweight and stopped him. Moreover, Gatti's trilogy with Mickey Ward remains one of the great rivalries in boxing history. The two squared off in their first clash in 2002, when Irish fighter Mickey Ward beat Gatti by a majority decision. The fight was termed the Fight of the Year by the Ring magazine. Later that year, in their second fight, Gatti managed to get revenge for his defeat in the first fight, beating his opponent in another thriller. Gatti and Ward engaged in their trilogy fight in June 2003. Early on, the Canadian boxer repeatedly threw punches at Ward, but the latter came back and eventually knocked Gatti out in the 6th round. The bell signaled the end of the round before Gatti could stand up, or the referee's count reached 10. Gatti was able to recover and triumph over his opponent by unanimous decision. In 2005, Gatti faced off against the esteemed Floyd Mayweather Jr. in his 3rd defense. Mayweather thoroughly controlled the fight until Gatti's corner stopped it after the 6th round, and Gatti was no match for him. After being defeated by Alfonso Gomez, Gatti announced his retirement in 2007. Still don't understand that. I thought Gatti was from New Jersey. I don't know. Artur Beterbiev. I know he moved to Canada from Russia. Right. Yeah, George Chuvalo was a warrior in every sense of the word. Facts define only one. And the greatest chin in boxing history, too. George Chuvalo. No doubt about it. Better than Triple G. Some of the other great chins, Triple G, Canelo, Jake LaMotta. George Chuvalo is the one that the great chins are measured by. Okay, next is, just got a couple more. They keep stopping moving on me. That's Artur Beterbiev, right? Artur. Now, Artur Beterbiev, he was the undisputed heavyweight champion, right? And had a 100% knockout ratio. But he's got a trilogy coming up with Bivol, again for the undisputed light heavyweight championship. Okay, just lost to Bivol in February. Now, although he fights out of Canada, he was born in Russia, making him a champion that both countries can proudly claim. Arturo Gatti. And finally, Lennox Lewis. one of the greatest heavyweights ever. Now, Lennox Lewis is one of the greatest fighters in the modern history of boxing. Born in England, he moved to Canada at the age of 12 and won a gold medal for Canada at the Seoul Olympics in 1988. Okay. Now, Lewis won several regional heavyweight titles in his first 3 years as a pro, including the European, British, and Commonwealth titles. He fought Donovan Razor Ruddock in 1992 to become the #1 fighter in the WBC rankings after winning his first 21 pro fights. Then you know what happened. Lennox had a dream start to his pro career. That was when Riddick Bowe threw the belt in the trash. But Lennox had a dream start to his pro career as he won his first 22 pro fights. He was scheduled to face Riddick Bowe for the WBC heavyweight title, but Bowe vacated the championship rather than challenge Lewis, and Lewis was crowned the new champion. Oliver McCall shocked him by defeating Lewis after he had defended his title 3 times. Okay. Later in February 1997, Lewis exacted his revenge and regained the WBC title by stopping McCall in the 5th round, though McCall stopped himself. He burst out crying and everything. It is worth noting here that Lewis defeated every boxer he ever fought. All his losses, he rematched and won the rematch. He is one of only 3 world heavyweight champions who have defeated every professional opponent he ever faced. The other 2 being Rocky Marciano and Ingemar Johansson. Lewis announced his retirement in 2004 while still holding the title of heavyweight world champion. He finished his career with a record of 41 wins, 32 by knockout, 2 losses and a draw. And he retired because he didn't want to get back in there with Klitschko. We believe it was Vitali. Vitali was controlling the fight, but Vitali got cut and they had to stop it on cuts. So Vitali couldn't continue, so Lennox got the win. But Lennox knew. Instead of having that rematch with Vitali, Lennox retired. Fighters know. Okay. Multiple weight divisions. We're talking about fighters that won titles in at least 4 weight classes today. 17 of them. Okay? 17 of them. Manny Pacquiao leading the way with 8. We're just talking about the men today, but remember, Amanda Serrano has 7. Okay? Yeah, Amanda has 7. So, yeah. And Amanda is still active too. So Manny, I don't know. Amanda could pass him. Who knows? One day. Okay, let's get to it. Well, before we get started, let's give a shout out to Mike Rem, big supporter of the show. Mike scheduled for spine surgery today, and just hope everything went well. And he has a very successful surgery, fast recovery, and back in here with us very soon. Salute to Mike Rem. Okay, spinal surgery today. Salute to Mike Rem. Fast recovery. Okay, yeah. All right. So now we're going to talk about these at least four divisions champions today. Okay, bear with me for a moment. Oh, there it is right there. You know I had it. Okay. Let's talk about it. Take the chat real quick. Now, winning multiple world titles in boxing, it was a little harder several decades ago, as there were just 8 different weight classes in the sport. Now, today, there are 17 weight classes. mainly due to the introduction of junior and super divisions, as well as the cruiserweight class. Now, some 40 division champions have achieved the feat by gaining just 10 pounds between weight classes, right? Like from 112 to 122, 4 weight classes, that's 10 pounds. While others have had to walk up at least 40 pounds to get those 4 weight divisions. Now, the list today consists of the top 16 boxers to win at least 4 major world or lineal championships in different weight classes throughout their careers. Now, major world titles are those sanctioned by the IBF, WBO, WBC, and WBA. Now, there have been several other boxers to win 4 or more different weight classes, but these include fringe titles from organizations such as the IBO, WBF, WBU, and NBA. We're not counting those, okay? The 4 we are talking about is the WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO, okay? So let's get into it. Okay? Appreciate everybody coming through today. Okay, let's see for one moment. Music keeps coming up by itself. Turned it down 5 times. Okay, there we go. That's good enough right there. I can hear it. Okay, get back up here and get started with today's show. Who was the last Canadian fighter? Lennox Lewis? I'm trying to get to my slide this way. Yeah, Lennox Lewis was last. So the next one is the first one for the multiple division champions. And there he is, which is Leo Gamaz. Leo Gamaz. Define Arnie says Foreman and Hagler also had all. Yeah, I forgot about them. Hagler. How could I forget Hagler, Define Arnie? Wow. You're right. Yeah. Hagler had an iron chin. I forgot all about them. Damn. Foreman too. I don't know how I did that, but that's right, Define Arnie. Foreman and Hagler had great chin. Yeah, especially Hagler. Wow. Hagler only got knocked down once, and he said that was a slip. He went to his death saying that wasn't a knockdown. As many other boxing experts and historians and fans say that wasn't a knockdown, but the referee called it a knockdown. They didn't have instant replay then. They really don't have it now. They don't use it properly, But yeah, they should instant replay like every other sport. Because some of those knockdowns, some of those calls these referees may have to be cheating because you shouldn't even need instant replay. Anything other than the foot touch the mat by the result of a punch is a knockdown. And some of them have been cleared, then the instant replay changed it to a knockdown. And you wonder, how come the referee standing right there in the ring with him didn't call it a knockdown in the first damn place, right? You shouldn't even need an instant replay. Happens a lot with that guy that did the Devin and Ryan fight. He be in a mixed up in he missed a lot of knockdowns. What's his name? Harvey Dock. Yeah. I don't know what's up with him. If I was a fighter, I would never agree to Harvey Dock doing any of my fights. Yeah. Harvey Dock is terrible, man. Terrible. But Leo Gamaz, let's get into the list. It's not about referees today, but Harvey Dock is terrible. Leo Gamaz is the first to win. We're looking at fighters that won titles in at least 4 weight divisions, okay? There's Leo. Now, Leo Gamaz is probably the least known boxer listed here, as the native of Venezuela fought in the lower weight class, right? Gamaz won 4 WBA world titles in total at minimum weight: light flyweight, flyweight, and super flyweight. Now, Gamaz's 4 titles were separated by just 10 pounds. Those lower weight classes, you go up like, I think it's an average of 2.5 pounds from 112 to 122. So yeah, he won his 4 titles within just 10 pounds, 4 weight classes. But that was about 10% of his body weight. He fought from 1985 to 2005 with a record of 35 wins, 12 losses, 1 draw, along with 26 knockouts. However, 6 of his losses came in his last 9 fights. Now, Gomez became the first flyweight boxer in history to win titles in 4 different weight classes. He attempted to make it 5, but was beaten by WBA champion Johnny Bredall by unanimous decision when he tried to win a bantamweight crown in 2002. He fell short of 5, but he got 4. Okay? He did get 4. Leo Gomez. Okay, Jorge Arce. Jorge Arce. Here's Jorge. Holding 4 of his belts. Damn. Oh, he's got 2 green. He's got like he's missing 1. Well, he got 5 of them. But it wasn't no 4 belt, and he wasn't 4 belt undisputed though. So some of those are those interims or super dupers or green continentals. They got so many different types of belts. But he wasn't never 4 belt undisputed, not Jorge Arce. But he did win at least 4 in 4 weight classes. Okay, he did win titles in at least 4 weight classes. Now, Mexico's Jorge Arce was another 4-time world champion in the lighter divisions, as he won the WBO world belts as a light flyweight, super flyweight, bantamweight, and super bantamweight. He was also the lineal light flyweight champion and the interim WBC flyweight champion. Now, Arce's titles were spread out over 14 pounds, weight differential. He was the second Mexican to win championships in 4 different classes after Erik Morales. Now, Arce fought from 1996 to 2014 and was a 5-time world champion in total, winning the light flyweight title when he was just 19. Arce also tried to win a 5th belt, but was stopped by Johnny Gonzalez in the 11th round in a shot for the WBC featherweight championship in 2014. Now, Arce retired after the fight with a record of 64 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws, with 49 knockouts, and 1 no contest. He tried for 5 divisions 1 time, and then retired. He was knocked out by Johnny Gonzalez, the great Johnny Gonzalez. So he said, 4 is good enough. Okay? Yeah, and he did have 4. I had Arce twice. AB. Yeah, AB got 4. Yeah, AB. Adrian Broner. Yeah, he had 4. Adrian Broner. 4-weight division champion. Adrian Broner is next. Man. This Wi-Fi gives me all kinds of problems. Man. Okay, Adrian Broner. Adrian, the Problem Broner of Cincinnati, Ohio. He won world titles in 4 weight divisions, right? He achieved defeat in 2015. Broner became the 2nd youngest boxer to do it at age 25, behind Oscar De La Hoya, who was 24. Broner won the WBO super featherweight, WBC lightweight, WBA super lightweight, and welterweight titles, right? Now, there was a 17-pound weight gap between Broner's belts, and he won them all in a span of just under 4 years, right? Now, Broner turned pro in 2008, right? And I think he's still active. Yeah, I believe AB is still active. But Adrian Broner, 4-weight world champion. Yeah. Chocolatito, Roman Gonzalez. Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Al Booger in the building. What's up, Al Booger? We talking about this is a rerun. We did this last year, remember? Al Booger probably remembers because he was in here back then. But hey, hope everybody forgot most of it. Yeah, this is a rerun. The multiple division champion, at least 4 weight classes. But salute Al Booger. Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, 4 weight division champion. Now he's still considered to be one of the best pound for pound boxers in the world. And even though he lost his title to Sor Rungvisai, now that was a controversial decision when he lost that. But he won world titles at the WBA minimum weight, WBC junior flyweight, and super flyweight. All 3 of those were WBC, right? He turned pro in 2005. And he was one of his first 46 fights, had 38 knockouts. His first loss was an upset, that fight to Sor Rungvisai. Yep. 46 out the gate for Chocolatito, 4 division world champion. The Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire. Filipino Flash. Yeah, these numbers be all messed up, man. It has 7 likes. It's got 0 people in the building. I'm in the building on my phone, so I know it's at least 1 in here. I don't know what be happening with this. Got 7 likes, 0 in the building. It should be at least 1 because I'm tuned into the chat on my phone, so I'm in here. So I know that's wrong. It should say at least 1, right? Okay, Nonito Donaire, the Filipino Flash, right? Now, he is destined to always live in the shadow of fellow countryman Manny Pacquiao, right? Now, he's been based in the USA for most of his career as well, okay? Now, Donaire won he has the IBF flyweight, WBC bantamweight, WBO and lineal super bantamweight, and the WBO featherweight title. Won those between 2007 and 2014. It had a 14-pound weight differential between the classes he won his titles in, right? And he also beat fellow 4-weight world champion Jorge Arce by a 3rd-round knockout in 2012. Okay, Nonito Donaire, 4 divisions. Nonito has 4 divisions. Okay. Next, Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto. There he is. There's Miguel. I done messed around and lost my chat. I gotta be able to see my chat, man. Here it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I got it. Yeah, Al Booger is the last person to come in. Salute, Al Booger. How you doing today? Okay, Miguel Cotto. We talked about fighters that won at least 4 championships in at least 4 weight divisions. Miguel Cotto. Now, the one and only Puerto Rican boxer to win world titles in 4 different weight classes is Miguel Cotto. He turned pro in 2001 after competing at the 2000 Olympics, right? And won the following championships. He had the WBO super lightweight, WBA welterweight, WBA super welterweight, and the WBC and lineal. WBC and lineal 154. Yeah, middleweight. No, 160. Middleweight. I didn't know McGraw went all the way up to 160. I thought it was 154. But yeah, 160. Okay. WBC and Lineal, 160 middleweight. Now, Cotto achieved the feat between 2004 and 2014 over a 10-year period. His weight differential was 20 pounds between the classes he won those 4 titles in, right? Miguel Cotto, 4-division world champion. Okay? Juan Manuel Marquez. Man, those two never fought. I would have loved to have seen that fight. And they fought right smack dab in the same era, man. But Marquez was always a little smaller than Cotto. I don't think they were ever in the same weight classes at the same time. But that would have been classic Puerto Rico, Mexico. Cotto and Marquez. Woo. But they were actually in talks for a fight, but they couldn't agree on a weight because it would have had to be at a catch weight. Because Marquez was considerably smaller than Cotto, right? Would have had to been at a catch weight, but they couldn't agree on a weight, so they never fought. But that would have been a great fight. Classic Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Cotto and Marquez. But never happened. Wow. That would have been one for the ages there. Yeah. That would have sold too. That would have did some numbers. Puerto Rico, Mexico, 2 great fighters from that era, but never happened. One day got away from us. And a lot of people don't never talk about that potential Cotto and Marquez fight. You know, that's one of the big ones that didn't happen. And they were in talks, but like I said, they couldn't agree on a weight. Could never agree on a weight. But Juan Manuel Marquez, right? 4 divisions. He had WBA, IBF featherweight, WBC super featherweight, lineal, WBA and WBO lightweight, and had the WBO super lightweight championship. Let's see, was that 5? WBA, IBF featherweight, WBC super featherweight, lineal, WBA and WBO lightweight. That's 4. WBO super lightweight championship. Now, Marquez won his titles between 2003 and 2012 with a weight differential of 14 pounds between the classes, the 4 classes, right? He's the 3rd Mexican fighter to achieve this feat behind Erik Morales and Jorge Arce, right? And he won a total of 7 world championship belts altogether. And he's well known for his 4 fights against Manny Pacquiao, as well as battles with Floyd Mayweather Jr., Marco Antonio Barrera, Joe Casamayor, water-headed Timothy Bradley, and Orlando Salido. Yeah. Juan Manuel Marquez has a fire resume, man. Fire resume. Wanted all the smoke. But you can always say that, like a lot of people get on Canelo saying who he didn't fight, but you can make that case for everybody. Marquez never fought Cotto, so yeah, you really can't really get on Canelo too bad for that, because you can make that case for every fight. Every fighter got somebody that they didn't fight that you could make a case for them. Wonder why they didn't fight him. You could say Cotto for Marquez, so yeah, we can't do that. And I'm in the camp that Canelo and Benavidez going to fight eventually. That's going to be Canelo's final fight. Watch. He ain't going to get that 200 million, but he's going to get 6 digits. Get between 100 and 200 million. But yeah, we can't really get down on Canelo for who he didn't fight and all that, because you can do that for any fighter. Okay? Next is Erik Morales. Erik Morales, get up there, Eric. I thought this thing get ready to go out. I said it about 5 times. There's Eric. Erik Morales. Now, Erik was the first Mexican fighter to win world championships in 4 weight divisions, right? He achieved the feat between 1997 and 2011, 14-year period, when he won the WBC super bantamweight, featherweight, all WBC, super featherweight, and super lightweight titles, all WBC titles. bantamweight, featherweight, super featherweight, and super lightweight. There was a 16-pound differential between those four classes. Morales won his titles in. And he also won the IBF super featherweight crown too. He had IBF super featherweight too. Now he managed to beat 15 world champions during his career from 1993 to 2012. And he retired with a record of 52 wins, 9 losses, 36 knockouts. 8 of his 9 defeats came in his last 13 fights, when he should have been out of the ring anyway. We just talked about him Friday, remember? Now, Morales fought trilogies with Manny Pacquiao and Marco Antonio Barrera, and also met the likes of Danny Garcia, Jesus Chavez, and Marcos Maidana. Yeah, he fought Danny Garcia and Maidana when they were young guns up and coming, and Morales was old. Lost to both of them. Trying to make a name off the old guy. I guess they did. Now, Morales is rightly regarded as one of the finest and most exciting Mexicans in boxing history, no doubt. Got to be up there top 5. You talking about Mexican fighters? Erik Morales got to be top 5. Got to be. Okay? Pernell Whitaker. We're talking about champions that won at least in 4 different weight divisions today. Morales got to be top 5. What y'all think? I think so. When you're talking about Mexican fighters, yeah. Has to be. Pernell Whitaker. Okay. That's Pernell. That's him and Chavez. Probably number 1 when you talk about Mexican fighters, Chavez right there against Pernell. Pernell Whitaker. I think he won 4 division. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker was a gold medal winner at the 1984 Olympics and then fought pro from 1984 to 2001. He had a fine record of 40 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, with 1 no contest, 17 knockouts, right? And he went 201-13 as an amateur with 91 knockouts. Now, Whitaker won his world titles at WBA, IBF, WBC, and lineal lightweight, IBF super lightweight, WBC and lineal welterweight, and WBA super welterweight. And his fights came between his titles came between 1989 and 1995, with 19-pound differential between those 4 classes that he won his belts in. Now, Whitaker's power didn't travel with him from the amateur to pro. I was getting ready to say he had better power in the amateurs. Usually, get more knockouts on the professional level because the amateurs, you only got 3 rounds and you more concentrating on points in the amateurs. But Whitaker's power was better in the amateurs as far as the stats. And it didn't carry with him to the pro level, right? But he was widely regarded as an excellent defensive fighter with smooth as silk skills. Took on the likes of Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Tito Trinidad, James Buddy McGirt, JCC, Julio Cesar Chavez, Greg Hargan, and Azuma Nelson. Yeah, all those guys back then had fire resumes. Speaking of fire resumes, damn. Bam. Speaking of fire resumes, there's Oscar. Speaking of fire resumes, Oscar resume is just crazy. I told you he fought 4 top 10 fighters in 1996 when he won Fighter of the Year. He could have fought 2 top 10 and 2 lower level fighters. Oscar fought 4 top 10 ranked fighters in the same year. Who does that? The youngest boxer to win 4 different world titles was Oscar De La Hoya, right? His 4th belt came at 24 years old when he beat Pernell Whitaker for the WBC and lineal welterweight titles in 1997. Now, Oscar won the WBO super featherweight crown in 1994. He added the WBO lightweight title in 1995 and the WBC and lineal super lightweight titles in 1996. But Oscar was not finished at 4, as he would go on to win the WBC and lineal super welterweight titles, as well as the WBO and lineal middleweight titles for championships in 6 different divisions by 2004. In total, Oscar won 10 belts in 6 weight classes and met fellow 4-time champions Whittaker, Manny Pacquiao, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. along the way. Oscar, who's known as the Golden Boy, turned pro in 1992 after winning a gold medal as a lightweight in the Olympics in Barcelona, Spain. He fought until 2009 with a record of 39 wins, 6 losses, with 30 knockouts, and 4 of his losses coming in his last 7 fights. Speaking of fire resumes, Oscar got the fieriest. Is that a word, fieriest? Most fire. Most fire of resumes. Fireest, that ain't no word. The fireest of resumes. Most fire of resumes. Okay? We talking about champions. But Oscar had 6 weight divisions. Second to Manny. Okay? Nate, we talking about champions with at least 4 titles, at least 4 weight divisions. Next, the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran. Yeah, Roberto had 4, I believe. Let's see. Known as Mano de Piedra in Spanish and Hands of Stone in English. The legendary Roberto Duran of Panama would lose to 4 division champs Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard. But he also beat Leonard, that's right, on his way to 4 different world titles. Duran managed to capture the WBA, WBC, and lineal lightweight. Duran won the bigger of the 2 fights, the first one too. Okay, so now, okay, let's see, where was it? Duran managed to capture the WBA, WBC, and lineal lightweight WBC, and lineal welterweight WBA super welterweight, and WBC middleweight titles. He might have won 2 more weight divisions, but lost in attempts to win a super middleweight and basically skipped over the super lightweight division. However, he did win a minor NBA title at super middleweight. And he was leading after 13 rounds for middleweight against Hagler. But Hagler got neither those last 2 rounds, and Hagler got him. Yeah, that would have been 5 right there for Duran, but yeah. He was leading after 13 rounds. But Hagler came back. And he won the NBA title, minor title. We don't count that. So Duran fought pro from 1968 to 2001 to become only the 2nd boxer to compete in 5 different decades, along with Jack Johnson. Duran took on the world's best for a record of 103 wins, 16 losses, 70 knockouts. The Hands of Stone. Duran's fought till he was 52 years old. Duran might still be fighting, who knows? He might still be active. Roberto Duran, legendary, great, excellent. Did I say legendary? Roberto Duran. Okay, next is Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. Roy had 4, I believe. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, write it down. But yeah, after this, I got since we talking about all these great fighters and winning all these different very successful fighters, I got some of the worst fights. I got fighters with 200 losses and stuff coming up. So stick around for that. Fighters with some of the worst records of all time. I got a guy with 276 losses. When do you realize you don't have it? It took this man 276 losses to give up. Wow. Roy Jones. Now, those with less determination than Roy Jones Jr. may not have succeeded as a boxer after being clearly robbed of the gold medal at the Olympics in 1988 in Seoul. That was bad. Jones carried on, though, and is still fighting. He was still fighting at the age of 48 after turning pro right after winning the super welterweight silver medal at the 1988 Games in Seoul. Should have had the gold. Now, the native of Pensacola, Florida, was also a Russian citizen. Wow, he was a Russian citizen. Had a 65-9 record, 47 knockouts, right? Jones is a 6-time world champion. Wow, I said 6-time, right? So let's see what Roy did. Okay. He won the IBF middleweight, IBF super middleweight, WBA, IBF, and WBC light heavyweight, WBA heavyweight between 1993 and 2003. 40-pound differential between the weight classes. In fact, Jones is the only boxer ever to begin his career at junior middleweight and eventually win a heavyweight championship. He was also the first middleweight champion to go on. No, he wasn't. He was the first in 106 years, because we talked about it yesterday. Bob Fitzsimmons did it first. Jones was the first in 106 years to do it. They also won a title at cruiserweight, but it was the minor WBU version. So how does he have 6? I counted 4. 4 division world champion. Let me go back. Maybe I read that wrong. Yeah. He was a 40. Yeah, I thought Roy was 40 division. Okay. Yeah, okay. But let's move on. Sugar Ray Leonard. Now, I know Sugar Ray Leonard had 5. And both him and Hearns had 5 divisions. Okay. Sugar Ray Leonard. 1976 super lightweight Olympic gold medal winner, Sugar Ray Leonard of Wilmington, North Carolina. That's where he was born, but during his boxing career, he lived in Palmer Park, Maryland. He went on to win world championships in 5 different weight classes. He fought as a pro from 1977 to 1997. He had a record of 36 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 25 knockouts. 2 of his losses and the draw came in his last 4 fights, when he should have been out of the ring by then, to Hector Camacho and who's the other one? I forgot who it was. Was it Davey Moore? I can't remember. I know Hector beat him. And Sugar Ray should have been out of the ring. But yeah. But BoxRec says 3 losses though. BoxRec don't say he should have been out of the ring. BoxRec say 3 losses. Okay. Now, Leonard fought 2 other members of this list as he won and lost against Roberto Duran, and he won and had a draw against Tommy Hearns. He also beat greats such as Marvin Hagler, he never beat Hagler, and Wilfredo Benitez. Leonard won the WBA, WBC welterweight, WBA super middleweight, and the WBC middleweight, and WBC super middleweight, right? And light heavyweight between 1979 1988, 28-pound differential between Sugar Ray's 5 divisions. He was also the lineal welterweight, super welterweight, and middleweight champion at one time. And right behind Sugar Ray is the hitman, Thomas Hearns. Okay, there he is fighting Hagler. The greatest 3 rounds in history. Okay, we just got a couple more. We're going to talk about some of these bad fighters after this. I mean, these guys, you want to talk about call some cab drivers and all that. These people might, you might have a legitimate claim to do that. Wait till you hear about it. Now, Thomas Hearns nicknamed both the Hitman and the Motor City Cobra, but they still went up those steps and got in that ring. He lost 276 times, but he got in there. Right? That's a lot of times to even fight. But Thomas Hearns was born in Memphis, Tennessee, but he fought out of the famous Kronk Gym in Detroit, Michigan. The Hearns fought on a professional level from 1977 to 2006. That's 29 years, right? And compiled a record of 65 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw, 48 knockouts. He won world titles in 5 different weight classes between 1980 and 1988, as he captured. He had the WBA welterweight title, the WBA super welterweight title. He had the WBC middleweight title, the WBA super middleweight title, and had the WBC light heavyweight title. Hearns had 28 pounds of differential between his 5 weight classes that he won titles in. And just think, some fighters had 10 pounds differential between 4 classes they won titles in. But that was at 112 and 122 we talked about the other day, remember? I think that's ridiculous. 4 weight classes, 10 pounds. That's an average of 2.5 pounds. You could have just made 2 weight classes between that, right? Manny went up like 40-something pounds in between his 8 weight classes. And then some people went up just 10 pounds between 4. It's crazy. But hey, we love it. That's our sport. Now, Hearns was the first boxer to win titles in 4 and the first boxer to win titles in 5 different divisions, right? First one to do it. And then also won minor WBU and IBO titles. We don't count those. He won those at cruiserweight, WBU and IBO. I don't even know what the WBU and IBO stand for. Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard won their titles in the same division, but Hearns went straight from junior middleweight to light heavyweight champion before coming back down in weight to win middleweight and super middleweight crown. Hearns lost and had a draw with Sugar Ray Leonard. And he destroyed Roberto Duran when he met the fellow 4-time champion. Okay. I don't even know why I read that nonsense. Floyd Mayweather Jr. 5 divisions. Floyd Mayweather Jr. When it comes to major world titles in boxing, undefeated Floyd Mayweather Jr. of Grand Rapids, Michigan has racked up 5 of them. Mayweather turned pro in 1996 after winning a bronze medal as a featherweight at the Olympics that year. He got cheated too. Yeah. I told y'all when the ring announcer was saying, and the winner is, the referee had Floyd's arm on the way up. And the referee said the other kid's name. So who better know than the referee? He was raising Floyd's arm. He had to put it back down because they cheated the hell out of Floyd in that one. That was crazy. I mean, he looked like he won looked like it was like 5-0. I mean, whatever, it looked like it was something to 0. I don't even think the guy even scored a point, but they gave it to him. Yeah, that was crazy. But anyway, he turned pro in 1996 after winning a bronze medal in Atlanta at the Olympics that year. And when he turned pro, he took on the cream of the crop in his era, right? And Floyd's got 5 of them. He had the lineal and WBC super featherweight, lineal WBC lightweight, WBC super lightweight, IBF, WBC, and lineal welterweight, and he had the WBC and lineal super welterweight. I think that was from the fight with Oscar, right? I think it was actually at a catchweight, but it was for the title. You can fight at a catchweight and be fighting for a division title. Yeah, I think Cotto and Pacquiao did it. I think they fought at 150, but it was for the junior middleweight 154 title, so you can't do that. You know, the fight can be at a catchweight, but it can be for actual division title. I think Floyd and Oscar did it, and Manny and Cotto did it, I think. Yeah, but Floyd had 5. And finally, you know who the last one is, Mr. 8 Division champion. Mr. 8 Division champion himself, Manny Pacquiao, right? Now, so far, there's been just one man. We got a woman that won 7 now, Amanda Serrano. There's only been just one man in history to win world titles in 8 different divisions, and that's Manny Pacquiao, okay? Let's talk about his divisions. Then we're going to talk about these boxers that lost all these fights. Pacquiao won titles between 112 and 154, 42-pound differential between his classes, okay? 42 pounds. Manny could have had belts in 10 divisions, but he skipped over super flyweight and bantamweight. He didn't fight in those 2 classes. So he very well could have had 10, okay? He skipped 2 classes. But the classes he got titles in is WBC and lineal flyweight, IBF super bantamweight, lineal featherweight, WBC and lineal super featherweight, WBC lightweight, lineal super lightweight, WBO and lineal welterweight, WBC super welterweight. I missed one. That's 7. Okay. Okay, he skipped super flyweight and bantamweight. He got flyweight, super bantamweight, featherweight, super featherweight, lightweight, super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight. That's 8. Okay. Yeah, man, he's got he could have had 10, but he did skip bantamweight and I think what was the other one he skipped? Let me check real quick. He didn't fight at 122. Man, he didn't. Let me find it real quick. He didn't fight at 122, and he didn't fight at 130. Wait a minute. Super flyweight. 115. Okay. Oh, 115 and 118. He skipped those 2. Super flyweight and bantamweight, or junior bantamweight and bantamweight. Yeah, he skipped 2 classes. So he very well could have had 10 because Manny was on fire at that time. And no doubt, if he'd have fought in those classes, he would have had a championship. No doubt in my mind that he wouldn't have. So, wow, that might be unpassable. 10 of them. Woo. Okay, now we got 9 boxers that lost a fight. That's all I can say. Let's talk about it. Okay. Yeah. I don't like calling boxers cab drivers and all that stuff, but these guys, whew, they come close. Okay. Reggie Strickland. See, this is BoxRec right there. See his BoxRec. That's it. Proof that I ain't lying. There's his BoxRec right there. The proof is in the pudding. Reggie Strickland was the ultimate boxing journeyman. Raging Reggie started his career in 1987 in the middleweight division and continued until 2005. Now, during a painful career, he got knocked out 26 times. He entered the ring 363 times and lost a jaw-dropping 276 times. Although he did win, he did manage to win 66 fights. He did win 66. He didn't lose all of them. Just a lot of them. Strickland was often used as a pro opponent for up-and-coming boxers. Now, his half-brother, Jack Strickland, wait a minute, is Jack on this list too? No. But his half-brother, Jack Strickland, was also a welterweight who enjoyed a similarly unfruitful career, retiring in 2000 with a record of, this is his brother's record, 13 wins, 122 losses. So, Reggie and his brother had a record of 79 wins and 398 losses between him and his brother. 79 wins, 398 losses, almost 400 losses between. Jack was knocked out an incredible, his brother was knocked out 78 times, okay? However, Reggie Strickland did manage to win a few, okay, including actually had a title, the GBF super middleweight title, twice. This man had 276 losses but had a title. That's why I tell you, it's too many belts, man. Anytime somebody have 276 losses and have a belt, it's too many belts, right? But he stepped away from boxing with a 66 wins, 276 record. He understood and took pride in his role as a journeyman. Strickland noted that it made more sense financially to continue fighting as a gatekeeper instead of trying to build an impressive winning streak. Strickland fought a few world champions during his career too, nearly 20-year career, including Corey Spinks, Randall Bailey, and Tavares Cloud. Okay? Yeah. Now, yeah, that's the proof there, man. It's too many belts. You know, this man had 276 losses, but he had a belt. God damn, excuse my language. Come on, man. That's when it tells you there's too many belts. Okay, excuse me for a minute. I gotta turn this light on over here. Isn't that crazy? One moment. 276 losses, but he had a belt. I guess whatever some sanction about it said, you got 200 losses, but we're gonna get that money. You're getting some kind of bag. It ain't much of one, but we're gonna get that 3%. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Oh Lord, the chat. Oh man. You gotta be able to see the chat. Come on. Okay, I got it. Did anybody come in? Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, William Old School of Rant came in. I can't miss William Old School of Rant. What's up, William Old School of Rant? Yeah, we was talking about some fighters. That's one of these 4 titles, Old School, and now in 4 different divisions. I mean, now we talking about some of these fighters with the worst records. We just got finished talking about this guy with 276 losses, but guess what, Old School? He had a belt. So that definitely tells you there's too many belts. This man had 276 losses but had a belt. I can't get over that, man. Wow. Okay, well, let's continue. I got more. Nakes is I couldn't find all their box records. I wish I could have. But I found 2 other box records. There's the next one. Timmy Black, 33 wins, 172 losses, 4 draws. You see, he might have had a belt too. He did have 8 knockouts. Okay. Super lightweight, Timmy Black faced a few notable opponents during his career, including world champions Clarence Adams and Sean O'Grady. Now, Black retired on a strong note, winning his last 4 fights. All right. He lost 172, but he won his last 4. Wow. But the combined win-loss record of those opponents that he beat them last 4 with was 5 wins and 9 losses. Now get this. Y'all listening? During his career, Black was knocked out 99 times. Okay? Knocked out 99 times. So he's almost in the 100 knockout club, just on the other side. You know, instead of winning 100 knockouts, he was almost knocked out 100 times. Why didn't he fight one more fight and get knocked out one more time? That's got to be the record. He was knocked out 99 times. Wow. Billy Smith. Now, Billy had 13 wins, 145 losses, and 2 draws. 13 wins, 145 losses, and 2 draws. Now, Billy Smith developed a reputation on the UK circuit as a tough fighter. Smith wasn't afraid to face anyone. And even though he often lost, he was committed to giving maximum effort. Smith was only knocked out 7 times, despite losing more than 130 fights. Smith faced Gavin Reese and Ashley Theophane, among others. Okay. Next, you got another one in the 200 loss club. His name is Kevin McCauley. Kevin had a record of, get this, 15 wins, 224 losses, and 12 draws. 15 wins, 224 losses, and 12 draws for Kevin. But he went up those steps and climbed between the ropes, so hey. but he climbed back out 224 times as the loser. Now, McCauley embraced his role, having taken several fights on 48 hours notice, hundreds of times, and hundreds of miles away from his home. Now, having turned pro at age 29, McCauley knew that his age would probably prevent him from having a successful career, but he wanted to prove to himself that he could be a professional boxer. McCauley faced Frankie Gavin and Matthew Ryan, among others. Yeah, he was a professional boxer, not a very good one, but you know, he did get in that ring. Jerry Strickland, no relation to Reggie. But Reggie had a brother. I told you, Reggie and his brother had 398 losses combined. Yep. Now, Jerry Strickland. Jerry won 13 fights and lost 123, 5 knockouts. 13 wins, 123 losses, 5 knockouts for Jerry Strickland. Now, Strickland's chin was a weakness, and he was often chosen as a prospect's debut opponent, right? He was knocked out over 70 times during his career, over 70, right? Now, Strickland faced Hall of Famer Thomas Hearns and Hector Camacho, and he also faced Randall Bailey. Oh, I know Hearns and Camacho was two of those 70 knockouts. I ain't even got to check. I know there was 2 of them, especially Hearns. I don't even know how long that lasted. Okay, next. I'm not making fun of these people. This is their actual records. Y'all saw that box recs down there. See, look. With their actual record. See? 66, 2 and 76. I'm not making this up. Okay. Next is Delroy Spencer. Well, I think I had that wrong. Let me see. I think that might have been Spencer, the last one. I don't know. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is this? Delroy Spencer. 9. I'm all off. Delroy Spencer. 14 wins, 156 losses, and 3 draws. I don't know who that is, tell you the truth. But we talking about Delroy Spencer. Bantamweight Delroy Spencer faced many of the best UK fighters in the weight class, including Josh Warrington, Scott Root, Scott Quigg, and Terry Flanagan. Now, Spencer tried to use a technical style, but just wasn't skilled enough. Now get this. During his career, Spencer had a 44-fight losing streak. He lost 44 fights in a row on the way to losing 156 in his career. A 44-fight losing streak. When you decide to say, well, boxing ain't for me, and I'm going to get a job, a regular job. 44-fight losing streak. Wow. Man. Yeah, old school, definitely. Probably got at least 2 at the most. 2 at the most. Yeah, 2 at the most. Okay, I think we got one more. Oh, I know how I got off track too, but it's okay. Jason Nesbitt. This is the last one. I know this is Jason. None of those was the real people except for the first 2. But that's Jason. That's Jason right there. Now, Jason won 10 fights. He lost 198, and he had 4 draws. And out of them 10 fights, he knocked 7 out. So Jason's knockout ratio wasn't bad. 70% knockout ratio for Jason. 70%. He won 10, lost 198, 4 draws, got 7 of them up out of there. In his wins, only 3 people went the distance with Jason. But 198 of them beat him. Now, Jason Nesbitt admits that his career didn't go the way he expected it to. Really? It didn't? But He's grateful for the life he made, facing off with potential prospects. Now, Nesbitt faced British champions Gary Sykes, John Murray, Anthony Crolla, and Gary Thornhill, among others. Now, having endured a rough childhood, Nesbitt is proud of what he's overcome. He was 10 wins, 198 losses, and he said his career didn't go the way he thought it would go, the way he planned. I guess it didn't. Nobody planned on losing 198 fights, right? Damn, you didn't have to say that. It didn't go the way it's planned. Like somebody planned to lose almost 200 fights. Oh, he missed 200 by 2 fights. We had one with 199 losses, remember? Damn. But yeah, I thought that was nice. We're gonna get like 20 minutes of link time. BN Boxing News. What's up, BN Boxing News? BN say looks like Ivan Drago. Yeah. What's up, BN Boxing News? Okay. Another fire channel. Remember William Old Schooler rant from the Angry White Men, 10 p.m. on Friday nights. It's the hump day. So we're on the hill, on the way downhill toward that. Okay, let's get about 20 minutes of chop it up time in here today. They done changed the link screen, man. God, I don't know what they trying to mess me up. They changed it. You just used to have to hit one thing. Now I don't know what's going on. But I got it under control. But how's everybody this hump day afternoon? We shouted out Mike Rim before the show. Mike was scheduled for spinal surgery today. Hope everything went well or going well with him. And he get back in here with us very soon. Mike, a big time supporter of the show. So salute Mike Rim. Okay. Okay. Link coming in to the chat. Momento. Yeah, I know some Spanish. Momento. Oh my goodness. Man. Okay, let's see. Let me be quiet for a minute. I ain't gonna hum. Everybody might leave up out of here and start humming too much. Okay, everything, all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Or the T's dotted and the I's crossed. And there's the link in the chat. Yeah. The guy lost 298 fights and said his career didn't go as it was planned. That's it. Like, you planned on losing 298? I guess it didn't go as like you planned it, man. Come on, man. That went without being said, you know? Nobody planned on losing 298 fights. You should have been stopped fighting. How many fights you got to lose before you realize? But I guess he was getting paid. But remember, the guy had 276 losses, had a belt. Yeah, 276 losses, and he had a belt. So definitely too many belts, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was good and crazy. But tomorrow is Thursday. Boxing in the State series returns tomorrow with boxing in Vermont. And then Friday, we got the profile is the life and career of the Magic Man, Antonio Tarver. Friday. The Magic Man, T. Hill, Antonio Tarver. We're going to be talking about Friday. T. Hill.
What up, Kaz? Man, I'm over here talking to my cousin. He over here talking about I'm selling, dog, because I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm trying to remember a code for the door.
Oh,
He told me the code, and I forgot
yeah.
it. It's 43072 though. 4308072.
Old school. What's
Oh,
up,
two
old
O's
school?
and then 72. Okay, I got
What's
you.
up, fellas?
What's
Oh,
up,
yeah.
Will I Am?
Got off early today.
Oh
Okay.
man, off them poles. That's good stuff.
Yeah, so you come in. I said, yeah, you got off early or it didn't work or something.
4300
And me and D1 were doing a
472.
live a little while ago. We got off because we knew you were coming on, Cass.
Oh, y'all did
Just
something
text that
today?
to me though, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, I didn't even know, man. Damn, I would have been over there early.
All
I
I
used
gotta
to
do
be
is hit
I
any
was asleep
button
on
in the
Friday.
chat to
Damn.
lock it.
I didn't
Yeah,
get
we
no
were on.
notification or nothing. I got my thing turned on.
We were on 2 hours right before you, and then ended at 1 o'clock. Well, 2 o'clock your
The
time,
number?
1 o'clock my time.
Yeah, YouTube don't be sending those notifications because I got my notifications for y'all and everything because I know
Yeah, man,
y'all.
my little cousin, something else, bro. This dude, he be over here showing me some nonsense on videos,
D1
and you thinking
usually
it's
does,
funny.
but like this is just like a quick thing.
Yeah.
We didn't know if we were gonna, and then he didn't know if I was gonna get home in time to do it, and then
Yeah.
it was just a quickie.
Okay. Yeah. So what's
I
up?
hate to say this, but
Mhm.
come on, man. Look, if I get in the damn ring and I lose over 10, I'm out of it.
That's
I
it.
am retiring.
Yeah, that's it, man.
I'm not sticking around to be somebody's punching bag, you know?
No,
He
man.
must have been getting paid very well to be somebody's punching bag, though, for him to stay in there and have
Oh,
200
no.
and something losses.
Yeah.
Fighters at that level, though, dude, they don't make money. I mean, what are they getting, $5 grand a pop or something? And then they got to pay their coaches too, plus their promoters. So they really ain't getting shit.
Yeah, when it's all said and done.
He might not have had a promoter, man. He probably was just winging it. Like, remember that story you did about my brother that was getting in the car and he would drive? He'd get in the fight and he'd get on the road and drive somewhere else and go
Oh,
get in the
yeah.
fight.
He said like 3-4 fights in one day and stuff.
Yeah, my man had 3 fights in a day.
Yeah, he would just drive to different states and stuff.
He must not
That
have been
boy was
taking
with
real
all the smoke.
punishment then.
What did you say, old school?
He must not have been taking no real punishment then.
Yeah, it must not have been. Yeah, he probably be getting knocked out quick or something like that, you know.
And he was fighting. He was going up and down on weight classes as well too.
Yeah, yeah. I had a question for y'all though, right? Now,
Oh man, go ahead, fire away.
This
Let
card.
me back out and come back in though before you fire, because I can't hear.
You can't hear me?
He said he's gonna go out and come back in.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we still got like 20 minutes almost. There he is. Now, I was addressing that card next weekend, the Ryan Rowley card.
Right.
Now they're trying to set up another Ryan and Devin fight, right?
Yep.
Now, what if one of them lose, or both of them might lose? So what about that fight then?
Right. Here's the way I see it. I see Ryan literally stopping Rolly probably about 5 rounds.
Yeah. Devin
Rolly,
had a chance to lose.
Rolly cannot. Rolly's another one that can't defend the hook.
Mm-hmm.
The one I'm worried about is Devin, because we don't know what he's going to look like coming back in. Mm-hmm. Another thing is, Jose Ramirez has been complaining since before the Taylor fight that the weight's been sucking him out dry. So will this extra weight give him back what he had before? And if he does, Devin could be in trouble, dude. Real trouble.
Because he's experienced too, old school, you know?
Yeah, and he's got a hell of a hook.
Not too much he haven't seen in there of Ramirez, you know?
Right.
All different kind of styles and everything, man. So that's going to be a big plus for him. So, yeah.
I mean, if Devin comes back as Devin and Ramirez shows up as how he's been showing up, then Devin should be able to walk through him, you know?
Yeah. But up to 2, between Devin and Ryan, I would say Devin would have a bigger, most danger of losing.
Another one don't take your eyes off of either is that Teofimo fight.
Oh, yeah.
Because Teofimo, I don't care what anybody said, he's been having a confidence problem. And Barbosa can come in there and actually put him on the canvas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for a while, Old School. We've been having that confidence issue for a minute.
Yeah.
Since
And he got a little of it back with the Taylor fight, but I hope he realized that Taylor was not the same Taylor that had. I mean, Taylor was been bad ever since the Regis fight. He really has. He's looked like garbage.
Yeah, I think both of them took a lot of punishment in that. Regis and Taylor, remember, in that fight.
Right. And Taylor hasn't looked good since. So I hope Tio ain't basing his confidence off of that fight, because he was basically fighting a shot fighter.
Yeah, not the same Taylor. Mm-mm. Not the undisputed Taylor.
If Barbosa comes in there and starts beating on him and actually putting hands on him, it could shatter that confidence again, and it could end up bad for Tio.
Yeah, that's true. And then you don't know what kind of shape he's gonna show up in the first place. Which Tio gonna show up? You know?
Well, I don't think he's doing like he did with Kambosos. With Kambosos, the whole thing with Kambosos was he did not take Kambosos seriously.
Sure didn't.
He went in there thinking it was just going to be a walk-on.
Yeah.
You know?
Get him out of
and
there.
then he gets in there, half-ass trained, and Kambosos just walked him down, beat him up.
Dropped him in the first round, remember?
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's stupid enough to not take anybody seriously anymore. You know?
After that, yeah.
But if he don't have no confidence, how good can he actually be?
Yeah. Barbosa can be dangerous too.
Yeah. And Barbosa's what, on a 4-fight win streak or something?
Yeah, something like that.
What you think, Thomas Hill?
He was pretty good in his last fight too, Barbosa.
Yeah, Thomas. I need to know what the mayor of YouTube thinks.
Well, for me, I think you're right about everything that you said. I mean, not being confident in himself. You saw that when, he struggled with Sandor Martin, and it was after a series of fights where, he just didn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Then you, like you said, you get this flash in the pants type performance against somebody that's really on their downward swing in a division that they've been in for too long too, as well. So you got Taylor, you catching Taylor on a backdraft of his career, especially at 140. Yeah, and we don't know if he's just tapering out all the way together in boxing, just in general, because who's to say 47 is kind to him either. So we don't know. But what we do know is that in fights with boxers, in particular, one who can have good movement, can work off of a jab, he struggled. Barbosa is definitely that fight. He is definitely that fighter. So, he offers a bad fight for him and a terrible opposition for him for what he likes to do. He's a counterpuncher, and he's fighting against the counterpuncher.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And every time he's done that, he's not looked very good in the ring. Now, that thing with Kambosos, I will say a lot of it was he didn't care about Kambosos. I don't think he thought he was a threat.
Yeah.
And, he really wasn't right for that fight mentally or physically.
No.
The other thing was the thing that he had going on within his own family structure in his life. So that also, I'm not going to take away from what Kambosos did in the ring, but it wasn't the truest representation of Tio.
No,
however,
it wasn't.
What you said about him being since the fight where he lost, that is starting to show itself in every single way. The fight that he had with your boy, what's his name, Macumbi? Was it Macumbi? Right. Not Macumbi. It was what's his name?
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the damn name.
Oh my God!
Puro, sir, salute. Puro back in the building.
Put her on the back. He need to come on up. What's his name? Old School?
I don't know. You got me sitting here.
Damn,
what's that dude's name?
Claggett.
That's it. Claggett.
Yeah, Claggett.
Claggett.
Right.
Now, that was a dominating performance by Tio, but it didn't look that way on the screen. Like, he definitely won the fight. But my man was getting way too many shots in. Now, if you let Pedro Barbosa hit you, I'm sorry, Arnold Barbosa hit you like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you let him hit you like that, then you setting yourself up for failure. And if you go in there attacking him like you attacked Claggett, you're gonna be in trouble. It's just, will he stick to the game plan or the script, or will he let all the shenanigans that Tio's been doing get him off his game plan and have him fighting the game that he shouldn't be fighting?
Well,
That's what. Go ahead.
That's why Tio did what he did. That's why he slapped him. Tio's trying to get him to come get him.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to make it personal.
Right. Hopefully Barbosa sees through that shit and says, no, bro, you ain't baiting me into that crap. We're going to do what I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
But
if he does,
as
it could
you
be a
stated-
long night for Tio.
As you stated, it's the toughest opponent. He definitely got the toughest fight. I think Ryan got Devin got the most dangerous fight because
Right.
he can mess around,
Mhm.
truly not respect this guy, and make some of the mistakes that he's been making in his fights. And
yeah.
Ramirez catch him with something, and it puts him all the way back into, where he gotta adjust to some pressure and some power. So we don't know, but I fully expect Devin to be much comfortable with himself in the ring because he's fighting closer to a weight that he normally walks around at. And
Right.
on top of that, he's got a lot to prove. So I'm hoping that, that fuels him to train like he needs to train and be ready. Because next week coming real quick.
Yeah.
It's coming real quick.
What he doesn't need to do is once he starts getting hit, is return back to his old self and leave them openings there because he's got way too many openings.
Well, that's the problem, though. I think it's because for most of his career, he's been a bigger fighter. You gotta realize he done fought X amount of fights. Like he's only gotten 2 fights outside of 135. So all the rest of his fights have been at 135
Against small guys.
against guys that he's much bigger. Yeah.
Old 30
So,
year guys, too. A lot of them. 30 years.
Jose Ramirez ain't no small
Devin,
guy.
right? You talking about Devin?
Nah.
How you doing, fellas?
What's up, you fine, Arnie?
I'm good, thank you. How you
The
guys?
five, what's up, my guy?
I'm good. Just waiting for those fights, man. A lot
The
of
JBT reporter from Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
sir.
The one and only.
A lot of waiting
Fine Arnie
season.
won.
A lot of
So what do you
intrigue, man,
think, Define? Tell us what you think.
about the Ryan, Devin, and Tio?
Oh yeah.
Man, it's interesting, man, because the way I see it, like we gotta wait and see about 4 dudes, right? We gotta wait and see how Devin shows up and how Jose Ramirez shows up. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
both of them, and the same thing with Tio and Barbosa. Like I'm not, like I can't really. Tio is so inconsistent, bro, and so is Barbosa. I don't think Barbosa has the tools to beat Tio in the ring, personally. Now, I want Barbosa to win. Like, I'm rooting for Barbosa, but I just don't see him having the tools to beat Tio. Now, at the same time, we need to see which Tio shows up. You see, like, there's a lot of question marks, which makes it a lot so interesting to me, Like, and the same for Devin and Jose Ramirez, because Jose Ramirez, bro, people are forgetting how good he was.
Mm-hmm.
Just my opinion. And Devin, we got to see how he bounces back, from that Ryan.
That's right.
And personally, I think Ryan, as much as I like Rolly personally and everything, I think Ryan got the easiest matchup.
Stop it. Yes.
I believe it.
Yeah, Rolly ain't defensive responsible at all, man.
No, he Rolly fights kind of like a street fight. In boxing.
Yeah.
Like I don't get it. Like, bro, you gotta work on your fundamentals, bro. Like at some point, like otherwise you're gonna keep getting KO'd, bro.
He just in there swinging. Like you say.
Well, I thought when he got away from Bullet, he'd do that,
Exactly. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see, because somebody was telling me, I can't remember who it was, but somebody was telling me that Rolly wasn't as talkative as he usually is. So maybe that's a sign that he's like taking this seriously.
Right.
Hey, who
I
is
think-
Rolly's trainer now? Who is his trainer now, Rolly? Anybody know?
Salas.
Oh,
Who's
Salas. Okay, that's a
Oh,
really
okay,
good trainer. Yeah, Salas.
A good trainer.
Yeah, I did not know that. Wow.
And I don't
know that
know.
quietness from Rolly makes me think he's a little bit worried about this fight.
Yeah, that's not him being quiet.
I think Rolly is maybe like a Jaime Munguia type, whereas you're being used to fighting one way your whole career, and I don't know if that can be fixed at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Honestly.
Yep.
That's what I worry about with Devin.
Yes.
And didn't Rolly start late into boxing?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Who said to me? I think Ty said to me once that he was a judo guy first.
Yeah, he was in martial arts.
And
yeah.
Honestly, and what do you guys think about honestly, I'm more interested in Chris Billum-Smith in the card that I'm interested in the main event. Honestly, I want to see if Chris Billum-Smith can bounce back. You know?
When is that fight?
Chris Billum-Smith is in the undercard of Eubank and Conor Benn.
Oh, that's this weekend then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both Smith brothers were on that card.
Really?
Okay. Hopefully, Liam on there too.
Oh, Liam on there too? Okay.
Oh yeah, Liam Smith is fighting. I think McKenna is his name or something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Man,
that's interesting also. But I think Liam Smith is at the tail end. You know, obviously he knocked out Eubank and he fought Canelo. Isn't he the brother of Callum Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all brothers.
There's like 5 of them. Used to be the Smith brothers. Yeah. But him and Callum is the only 2 still fighting. Yeah.
Well, Chris Billum-Smith is the one that I'm interested in because I was really high on him, and then he got that beating from Zurdo, bro, and I was like, "Let's see how you come back to this." He took a beating. He lasted the full fight and everything, but he took a fucking beating, bro.
Yeah, you always got to see him in the next fight after a beating like that too, you know, because sometimes mentally, because boxing is a lot mental too, you know. And never get back mentally sometimes, no matter what your skills is physically, you know, you got to have that mind right. You still got that knockout in the back of your mind. That's not good, man, going in that to do battle like that, you know. That's a tough.
You have somebody in the back right now. Piero.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. I wasn't paying attention. Okay.
I put a message in the back chat and I called it.
Yeah, there we go. Bring him up right now. Okay, there we go.
What's up, Puro?
What up? Can y'all hear me?
I left you in the back yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. But it's all good. What's going on?
Everything's good. What's up with you today?
Nothing much, man. Same old work. Pick up the daughter in a little bit, and then talk shit on the internet. That's what I do. That's what I do nowadays.
What's your opinion on these 3 guys?
You guys were talking about Rolly.
Yeah.
So the fights are coming up. Well, Rolly is, I hate to say it, but a manufactured fighter. He's got a bit of skill, but obviously he's gotten opportunities that, you know, could have been better served for other fighters. Like I thought he lost to Jackson Marinez. I thought he lost to some other guys. Barroso, yeah, and you know, they gave him a title, but you know he ain't the first. He's gonna be the last.
Right.
Ryan, I think, takes him out in like 3, easy work. But Rolly does have a bit of power, so you never know.
Right.
Puncher's chance. You know? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's got that puncher's chance, as they say. And then I think he's a former kickboxing champion, and in the history of the sport, kickboxing champions have success. You know, like what's the guy that this guy actually beat? That's on my avatar.
Chris Algieri, I remember, was a kickboxer before.
Chris Algieri is a kickboxer, became a champion.
Big Baby Miller was a kickboxer too.
There you go.
Was he?
Well, all the fighters from Thailand, I would assume, because they grew up.
Yeah,
with,
right?
Yeah, a lot of them. Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
Like the most famous is Ponsek Wangkong. That guy like ruled,
Yeah.
ruled his division for a cool minute.
More than, I think so from
Kosai Galaxy was too. Remember Kosai?
Yeah,
Galaxy?
Kosai Galaxy, Sarung Vasai. Yeah, nah, man, these guys, yeah.
Yeah.
And another dude by the name of Sahaprom, I remember that he was
Yeah,
really.
I remember him. Yeah.
Mhm. I was just talking about them the other day. Yeah.
Those are some hard fucking names to
Fighters.
pronounce.
What do you think about
And
the
the-
Teal fight and Devin Haney fight?
I think Devin's gonna lose, but it's gonna be a close one. But Devin is capable of winning. I don't know. It's a tough fight, but one that Devin's definitely capable of winning. But the thing is like you could tell that Ryan loss, is affecting him. But at the end of the day, especially when a fighter kind of like buys into his own hype a little bit, it affects every single one of them. It doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna lose. So I'm interested in that fight, but I actually think Ramirez is gonna pull that one off. But I'm not sure. It's but I'm gonna go with Ramirez on that fight, and then I'm going for Barboza to pull the upset against Teal.
Who is that on your avatar, Puro?
That is Jorge El Maromero Paez.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, bro, El Maromero
Yeah.
Paez. Oh come on,
Yeah.
bro.
Like
That's
one of my favorite
awesome.
fighters of all time.
Oh yeah. Oh, that guy was a showman, bro.
Yeah, he literally invented the crazy ring walks. They used to call him the clown
He was
prince
the
of
next
boxing.
Nassim Hamed, bro.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah, literally, like Nassim got his style from him. Like literally, they used to call him the clown prince of boxing because he actually comes from a family of carnival folk, carnies.
Yeah, he worked in circuses and stuff. Like he really was a maromero, Like
He really was a circus performer before he became a
I
boxer.
had to look into him. I might have to do something on him.
Wow, I didn't know that.
bro.
Yeah, from Mexicali, Mexico. From Mexicali.
Okay.
You learn new shit every day.
Yeah, man. Him and Pernell Whitaker for the undisputed title. That watch that fight. It's a thing of beauty.
Okay, I'm gonna check that one out.
You know, you got
The
just
one
on,
with, Calvin, what was his name? Yeah, I saw it the other day. I can't remember the guy's name. I think I know who you're talking about. Let me say this about Devin. If I'm Devin, honestly, I would prefer. I think Tio is a more favorable matchup for Devin than Ryan is. Honestly.
Yeah,
I
I'll be honest. I do not like Devin taking that rematch, dude.
Me neither. It's just a bad matchup, bro. Like
It is. Devin has very slow reactions. Ryan is so quick, dude. He's gonna beat him to the punch every damn time.
Yep.
But do you think that's a result of being undernourished and dehydrated for the most part?
Or is it from sparring wars too? It could be from sparring wars.
Could be. It could just be him.
I think it's just simple. Ryan was better that night. This is as simple as that.
So T Hill, you said it might look better. Devin might do a little bit better at a high, like 147 or something. Is that what you said? At a higher weight?
I believe he was depleted on a lot of those fights. So it might show up that he looks better. I mean, look, the first fight, and I think that his shelf life for the 40-pound division was greatly exacerbated because of the length he stayed at 35.
Yeah.
Remember, he stayed in from when he first came into boxing till 24. He was there for a long time.
Yeah.
And he was growing from a boy to a man, still fighting in that thing. I think it was taking a toll on him, but you see it because I've never seen him look as good as he did against Prograis. Now, Prograis not the fighter he used to be, but I ain't never seen nobody make Prograis look that bad though. Zarria did him nicely, but I still didn't think that it was that bad. But what Devin did to him, that was terrible, man. Like it didn't look like he even belonged in a ring with Devin.
Right.
But he didn't have much time there because he stayed at 35 so long.
That's true.
Best I've seen Devin is versus Linares until he got clipped.
Oh yeah.
That was a great fight. Yeah, that was a great fight.
Yeah, if Norris would have got him earlier in that round, he would have stopped Devin too.
Linares is dangerous. That's another dude that
Like
people
30,
forget.
40 seconds
Linares,
left, Devin would have got stopped.
Linares to this day is the only dude to ever drop Loma.
He had Devin hurt bad, man.
Yeah, he did, but that's the thing about Devin. People call him Chinny, but like I don't think people know what they're looking at. Like Devin ain't Chinny at all.
Nah, you're not Chinny, man. He took some hellacious shots by Ryan, man. Ryan drops a lot of people with those shots. Probably they don't even get up, bro. Like
exactly.
I literally was amazed he survived that fucking fight, man. He got beat the fuck up.
Dude, he is hard for days. I'll give him that for sure.
No, fact.
He showed some cojones in that fight. That's for damn
sure.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie. I worry about him getting back in the ring with Ryan, dude.
I don't
Ryan
want
is just all wrong for Devin.
Terrible matchup, bro. I'm telling you.
I agree, but I'm not worried, bro. These guys know what they're doing.
I think it'll be the same result.
I feel the same way about Roesi versus El Divino Espinosa. That's just a bad matchup, bro.
Devin is going to have to box Ryan at a distance, and he's got to freaking keep the damn phone on the hook.
Well, my man
he had it on the hook. He had it on the hook.
That's Israel Vázquez, right?
I didn't see it on the hook, but my man Puro saw it on the hook.
I do it, but Floyd Mayweather was notorious of not always having the phone, like on the hook, bruh. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, bruh, it's like. It's the speed. The speed was a factor.
Yeah,
he couldn't get his hand back in time. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Your Ryan got very
easier said than done.
It's easier said than done.
But not only that with Floyd also had a threat. Like if you missed, you pay.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even though that opportunity is there, probably in the back of your mind thinking, man, hey, it ain't hard, but hey, it sting like a mug.
Yeah, and I don't want to get peppered. That's a good point, T Hill. That's a good point.
Being boxing news. Boxing has been in the building.
Yeah. Floyd was the complete package. Devin is missing the defensive, defensive fundamentals.
Yeah,
I think, like you said, though, a lot of fighters, for the most part, they don't instill within that match oftentimes to be fundamentally sound with keeping their hand up and things like that. It's just some are better equipped to get away with it than others. And I think
that's true.
In a fight with Ryan, you're going to have to be supremely athletic to avoid what he's throwing.
Yes.
A lot of people, I've talked to people who say he's a plant and that he's really not that good, bro. I just don't see it. What I see in the ring is totally different from what everybody else see in the ring, man.
Exactly.
You can't manufacture somebody knocking people out. You can't manufacture that.
Oh, bro, I keep telling everybody, imagine if Ryan actually dedicated himself, dude. Imagine how good that dude could be.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He has all the physical attributes, bro.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Dude. I think he dedicates himself, but I get what you're saying. I 100% agree.
Not to. Yeah. I agree with William.
He only got one loss,
Yeah,
it's one of the best fighters, right now.
Yeah. I think. Tank, and guess what? Everybody else, not named Lamont Roach, obviously, has lost to Tank also.
I think everybody putting their takes on this fight that he had with Devin is gonna make him in that next fight, should they get there, show supreme confidence in his training and his conditioning. And I think then that's when you'll see truly what Devin has, because Devin will be at his best from a physical standpoint, and Ryan will be at his best from a physical standpoint. I don't think that Ryan was at his best in that matchup physically.
I do.
You think he was in shape?
Yes.
Maybe.
No, I don't. Not at all.
The thing is that these fighters, Devin included, not to take nothing away from their accolades. Accolades are their accolades. It's like that fight, in essence, was a money grab. Like Ryan at 140 did nothing to deserve that shot, but Devin wanted, to make a big fight.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, these guys are young. Like they don't know every fucking thing, and literally, it's just like you can just tell in the build-up. The build-ups usually just to sell the fight to the fans, to the casual, or just to get a bit of build-up. But the way Devin was saying he was gonna knock him out, this and the other, like even if Devin came in like came in on a knockout streak, like I never expected Devin to ever knock out Ryan or fight the way he fought him. To be honest, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
But like Ryan got into his head and into Bill's head, made him fight the wrong game plan. I'm not saying that would have fought more to his traditional game plan, they would have won, but still, man, it was just like, come on.
Yeah.
All the way up to 2 weeks before that fight, I was picking Devin to win that fight. And then the last 2 weeks, I started watching them training videos with Derek James. And I saw what they were working on. And sure enough, it's exactly what he did in the freaking ring and got him. And I picked Ryan once I saw them videos.
If they have a rematch, I hope it's at 147. You know, hope it's all the way up at 147 if they have it. I think that would be
and
the
that's
best
on you
fight.
if you think about it, bro. That's your fault, bro. Because honestly, bro, everybody know that what Ryan's strengths are. So I mean, I just don't think he took him as seriously as he just thought. Ryan put this act that he was crazy and this and that, and they just did on it.
What happened was he was listening to everybody telling him, "Oh, bro, see what you did, Regis? Oh man, you can knock Ryan out. Look, you put on that extra weight. You looking good now." And he let the fans and his people build his head up for nothing.
Yeah. Like Zab Judah with Baldomir. Like Baldomir is nowhere on the level of Zab Judah, but he fucking went in there and beat him.
Yep. When you take somebody for granted, stuff like that happens to you.
Yeah, and then there's also the fact that if Tank did it, I know I can do it.
Mm-hmm. All that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about all that. If he really thought that, come on. I'm like if I knew Devin personally and he told me that, I'm like,
C+ fighter,
you already lost.
Puto, he said he was a C+ fighter, bro.
I mean,
what about Ryan Scream C+?
You don't even believe that. But at the end of the day, like if he actually believed, like, oh, if Tank can do it, I can do it. Nah, it don't work that way.
Makes you look even worse, bro.
I don't think he really thought he was a C+ fighter. I think he was just saying that. He didn't really think that.
He literally said that in the interview with I believe Andre with Dre. Like literally like people like I was saying he was a C+ fighter, but everybody knows Ryan's a really good fighter, you know?
Yeah.
I would say he's a B+.
Yeah, but then in the same breath, he asked about Tank fighting Ryan. He was like, "Well, all Tank fights are C+ fighters." So you're doubling down on something you don't believe. Like I really just don't believe because of Tank did it. Yo, he can't be that good, bro. It didn't even look like he was that difficult for Tank. So he can't be good, bro. Because I know what I could do. And I just think that
I think for both of them to be at their best, if the rematch need to be at 147, no catch weight, no 147.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they should be even entertaining 40s anymore, man. Both of them dudes is huge, man.
Yeah.
When
Devin fights Ryan again, he needs to box at a distance. Whoever's teaching him right now, he needs to actually listen to him. Because if he reverts back to his old style, Ryan's going to do it again.
Hey, that's a great point that you brought up, man. We got to talk about the fact that ain't Sugar Shane in the camp now?
That's what I hear.
And Sugar Shane was helping Ryan in the first fight.
Ryan. Okay.
He was helping Devin with Ryan?
He was helping Ryan with before he fought Devin.
He was in the Ryan camp. Okay.
Yeah, he was in the Ryan camp for a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, watch his his YouTube channel. He says that he told Ryan that like literally you can't just go in there like you did with Tank. You gotta like literally you gotta box him or you're not gonna win.
Okay. Yeah.
How in God's name Devin thinks that he can replicate what Tank does?
No, I don't think he can replicate it. I think that he looked at it like this. If you struggled with Tank, and I believe I'm a far superior boxer than him, then there's nothing you can really do with me. And I think that that's the mindset he had going into that fight. Like, there's nothing he really brings to the table that I ain't that's going to affect me. And like I said, you don't really like I say, man, I saw that damn Fondor punch, bro. Was it Fortuna? Was it Fortuna?
Yep.
Wasn't that who he hit him with the left? I didn't even see the damn punch land, bro. I didn't even see it get thrown.
Yeah, when he knocked him
down.
No,
you're talking about Luke Campbell, I think.
No,
it was Fortuna. It was Fortuna.
It was Fortuna.
I was at that
You
fight.
got Ryan down?
Man, no, Ryan knocked him down like.
Because Luke
I just thought he fell down, bro. You didn't even see the punch; it was so damn quick.
Yeah.
I'm like, dog, this nigga just took a dive. That's what I was thinking because I didn't see the punch.
A lot of people thought that. Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan got up off the map to beat Luke Campbell.
Yeah, he did. He did.
A lot of people think that it was just the left hook that was affecting Devin. That right hand was tagging Devin the whole time.
But that right hand was open all the time. So he could have hit him with so many more right hands if he wanted to in that fight. That's why I'm saying I don't believe his conditioning was on point because it was open all night. He could have threw that punch all night long.
Right.
I'm telling you, like not to diminish Devin or the fight. Like I thought Ryan carried him a bit, bro. I thought he carried him.
I think
I actually look. I don't think Ryan's cardio was worth a goddamn in that fight.
Puro
it really wasn't.
I said Puro disagrees. He believes that he was in condition.
I didn't see anything that would show me that he was fatigued. The only thing that he showed me was that weird, like, what do they call it? The Riverside shell, the Bakersfield shell that he does. But the thing is, it was effective. Versus Duarte, it was effective. Versus Devin, it was effective. So if it's effective, it's effective.
Okay, I hear you, but this is the thing that gets me. Like, what rounds do you give Devin in that fight?
I would have to remember.
For sure.
Shit, man.
I gave him 1. I gave him 7, 8. I think Devin won 9. I think he won. He definitely won 11 and 12. Other rounds I think I give him, and it was only because in those rounds he was throwing punches.
Yeah,
and the other one,
that's a fact. Like, I agree with you, Thomas, but like I don't attribute it to that he was tired. Like literally, like he just like literally he didn't throw punches, but Devin also wasn't that effective.
No, not after 7. Yeah, his effectiveness was definitely went down. It definitely went down. Because in that point in time,
he fought the wrong game plan completely. You know?
Well, I say he started off with the right game plan. It just got beat, and once it got beat, there was nothing to fall back on.
Yeah,
they didn't have anything like if I can't throw this, then what do I do? And if he's throwing this and it's landing, what do I do? I don't think none of that was ever like they either didn't think it would get to that point, or they just don't have a way to adjust to that point.
Yeah.
But either way, it looked like at that point in time, at round 7, it was like when the fight changed. Like now, I can't throw this punch. I can't do this.
Round 1 is when the fight changed, in my opinion, when he landed that left, bro.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Puro.
As soon as he landed with that left, he's like, holy shit.
That first left hook, that was it.
But then he ended up losing the next
recovered from that.
5 rounds.
Who did?
Devin. I mean, Ryan. He lost. I
didn't think so. Me personally, I didn't think so.
No,
which rules?
Like, let me look at my card real quick. But yeah, I don't think he lost the 5 straight rounds. I thought Ryan won clearly by like a few points, man.
Well, you got to take the point away from him too. Yeah, points taken.
For sure. That's a fact. Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm trying to remember what the final score was.
Oh, they were super close. The final, for the judges, they were super close.
I thought it was a little bit. I thought the judges had it. I thought it was a little wider than what the judges.
Yeah, I thought it was a little wider.
You would think that because there was 3 knockdowns that wasn't scored.
I know that was crazy.
So you looking at it from the context of the fight.
The Tank and Roach, like bro, like literally, like everybody was like fucking piling on Willits and this and the other. Harvey Doc, like a couple people said whatever, but not like Tank, bro. Like, oh, he took the knee and the ref. I mean, what about in the Ryan fight, bro? Like, literally, they went in on him, bro. But it is what it is. You know how the fans are.
Yeah, and plus they've been waiting for Tank to look bad or have a moment where he could lose. That they've been waiting for that. So,
this is the thing, though. They got selective memory. In my humble opinion, with Pitbull, Tank drew or lost, but they're saying, oh, this is the first time he ever got exposed. Like, I don't know. They don't remember that Pitbull fight, and especially the post fight where like the very last reporter, I forgot who asked him. He's like, Tank, you really think you thought you won this fight? And then Tank asked him, what do you think? He's like, I actually think you lost. And then you just see this like look of on Tank. They're like, damn, these motherfuckers actually think I lost, bro. Like I'm telling you, bro. Like literally, people think like Roach did something new.
I tried telling everybody before that fight how good Roach was, but everybody kept saying, "Oh no, it's a cherry pick. It's a cherry pick."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I still think it was a cherry pick. I don't think Roach is that good. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, I think look, bro, he's got a belt.
It's just me.
Roach,
Just me.
They got the
Roach is a
rematch
damn good
set up,
fighter.
right? And the rematch.
Yeah, the rematch.
always-
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
I think it's June something. I believe.
I also
I
believe
just know
Tate
that-
wasn't going in there to try and knock Roach out either. I
No.
personally believe that.
Man, like, I don't know what I've been told. It was a lot deeper than boxing in general, but I'll tell you what. Once you got into that point where you knew it was a possibility that you might lose, you got to turn that ish up. And Roach was able to
Tate
stand
didn't even
that.
know it was the last round though.
Roach stepped up. Like he amazed me. Like in that fight. Like literally, like he surprised me. Good for him.
Cash, it's after 3, right?
Oh yeah, that my man Just Do. He's about to be on, man. So let's give the last words and go on and mosey on over to Just Do. Cat, you still there?
Cash. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, well, take us out, fellas, take us out.
Go ahead. I'm still looking for my scorecard real quick.
All right, fellas, y'all have a good one.
All right,
All right,
then,
then,
brother.
brother. Take it easy, man.
Peace.
Well, shoot, I'll go on and close this out, man. I don't know
Go
what
ahead.
happened to the box story. My man Cash Sports, aka Curtis Sewell. But you know what I'm saying? He's doing his job diligently. He gave us some good commentary on multiple division champions.
Mhm.
We had so many people grace the panel today. We had my man Porto Sword.
I'm right here. Yeah.
Had my man Define Irony One. You know him because he will show up to a fight and he will do the sideline report, get some interviews and stuff like that. That's the man. We had my man Will I Am, Old School Aren't, the Raging Cajun brother from another mother. I am Thomas Hill. Shout out to my main man, the Professor Al Booger. Shout out to the boxing pharmacist. It says Devin versus everyone, and he got Devin. That's being boxing news. Shout out to my good brother, Mike Rim. Shout out to my guy, Mike Mazik. Mike Rim, we hope you get better from your surgery, man. Hope everything goes well with you. Shout out to Mrs. Kaz. I know she was up in here for sure. I got to check to make sure. But Mrs. Kaz, the better half. Ray Patterson, the Jersey champ. And
Hey, T. Hill, sorry to interrupt you, but when was that fight? When did Devin and Ryan fight? Do you remember what
420.
the
420
month
of last year.
420 of last year. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Hold on, give me a second.
420 of last year.
420. Damn, that was on no wonder Ryan, man, he was smoking all that weed, bro. On 420.
Yeah, Ryan wasn't here. I'm telling you, bro. Ryan was out there wilding, bro. I don't think he was.
Bro. And that's what's crazy, bro. Like literally, like that. I agree. Like he didn't like like the condition. I didn't see it, but he definitely him in particular. Ryan wasn't taking that fight serious, and he still won. It's crazy.
He's just a gifted person, talented fighter, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like Devin. Devin's gifted too. Both these guys are like literally been one of the best.
Yeah, Devin is gifted, but I think Devin is more technical. With his gift, his ability to like detail and to discipline. Ryan's just physically gifted. Like, yo, he's got fast hands, powerful hands. He has a lot of twitch elements to his athleticism, and it's
a
tough,
natural.
man.
It's like literally a natural.
Yeah, well,
People forget he's I think a 14-time national champion, and literally, like I think, when Triple G was active, I think only Lomachenko has more like wins in the amateurs, bro, than Ryan.
Yeah,
that's crazy, bro. Like Ryan was like a decorated amateur.
Ryan definitely ain't new to this, bro. And with that being said, man, their fight's coming up in 2 weeks. We want them to, and everybody participating in the fight, to be able to make it to the camp. I mean, make it to the ring and make it out of that ring healthy. We hoping that the people that generate the most revenue for this. There you go.
Yeah, this Wi-Fi is crazy.
Wi-Fi is on, no limit. But I mean, we hope that they get to be able to make these fights, bro, because I want to see the fight. I don't know if I feel sorry for anyone that's getting paid the amount of money that they're getting paid to throw blows. But you know what? When you say things that you say, you got to stand by them. So that's why I'm holding Tank to the fights that he said he wanted. And that's why I'm holding Ryan to this fight. He said he wanted a chance to make this right. If they win their fights, if he beats Ramirez, and if Ryan beats my man Ramirez, Rolly, what's his last name? Rolando? Romero, yeah.
Cuban, right? Yeah.
Yeah, if they are to win their fights, hopefully that is the fight that they make. So they can clear the air. Hopefully it will be because there's no speculation or no doubt, and that nothing to throw shade or dirt on any of their names, so that this fight can clear the air and they can move on.
That's right. Hey, we're gonna get ready to get out of here too, fellas.
And we're gonna mosey on over to Just Do, and you can always find Docs and get his Just Do.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. Can you hear me, guys? His Wi-Fi's messing up, but yeah, all right, Tito, man. I'll see you on the next one, brother. Thank you for having me, Cass.
For sure.
All right, I'm out. Peace.
So everybody gone. Good. just gonna end it. Shit.